Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
One more time, we're the Syndicate from Vancouver, Washington. We love every single one of you. We love marijuana, we love this festival, and we love Sublime. When you grab a hold of me, tell me that I'll never be set free. I'm a parasite, creeping, crawl, I slip into the night. 2 pints of booze. Tell me, are you a bad fish too? Are you a bad fish too? But ain't got no money to spare. I wish this night would never end. Lord knows I'm weak. Won't somebody get me off of this reef? What is that? It looks magical. Baby, you're a big blue whale. Really? Grab the reef when all duck diving fails. I swim, but I wish I never learned. Thank you. What is too polluted returns. Dive deep when it's 10 feet overhead. Grab the reef underneath my bed, underneath my bed, but ain't got no course guard. Ain't got no time to go. Lord knows I'm weak. Won't somebody get me off of this reef?
Wild seed, life, seeding life, and the earth is our mother, and the land is her flesh, and the water is her milk, and the oil is her blood, and we are her children. In this land we come from, of this earth we're made of, with us as future ancestors, given responsibilities to live. We are the future we bring. If we don't take care of the land, how can the land take care of us? Same with sky and air we breathe. Today is time to remember tomorrow. In the reality of we reap what we sow, the reality of land and life is in the seed. Seed has memory of life. Wild seed memory, keeping alive, up close, face to face with the destroyers and their synthetic seed without memory. Toxic planting poison in earth and minds. Disregarding well-being for maximizing profits. Abandoning the children to massive debt. Making the price of freedom unaffordable at the expense of the many for the benefit of the few. Like a spreading mad human disease, chaosing minds with liars' promises, seeding old fears with new fears, life in the world of the money man. It's time to think our way out of what we believed our way into. How can we show respect to life if we don't use our common sense? Wild seed, life seeding life, and the earth is our mother, and the land is her flesh, and the water is her milk, and the oil is her blood. We are her children.
In 1959, many years ago, I was a sophomore in medical school, and I was smitten by an inappropriate stroke of curiosity when I read a selection in a textbook called Goodman and Gilman about cannabis, which whetted my curiosity because it was prohibited, but medically it sounded as if it was pretty benign. This curiosity led me to read everything in the medical school library, and then eventually permitted me to infiltrate to the heart of the beast, the National Institute of Mental Health, where I was hired as a research psychiatrist to study cannabis. At this time, cannabis was seen as a real threat to society because in 1967, when I was there, all hell was breaking loose with Lyndon B. Johnson trying to keep up the pretext of patriotism as he moved forward on the war in Vietnam. And the anti-war demonstrations were just tremendous in scope. I just wish we would see these kinds of protests again. But marijuana was seen as something dangerous that was being adopted by subversive organizations like California communes. And they saw the end of civilization coming near because the legal governance was breaking down as they sent more and more young men off to be killed in Vietnam. Unfortunately, I came out to California and ended up defecting. And there I fled and did my practice of psychiatry until things started happening in California. It happened starting in the Haight-Ashbury and in the Castro in the response to the AIDS epidemic, where different kinds of effective medicines were unknown. But what was discovered was cannabis would prevent nausea and vomiting and permit the use of different kinds of medicines for treating AIDS and the chemotherapy. Well, this snowballed, and what started in the Castro was taken under the wing of the political pros, and we went statewide, and we passed Proposition 215. 2 years later, same kind of thing passed up here in Oregon. Since that time, I've had opportunities to evaluate over 11,000 patients for their use of cannabis. And what has impressed me is cannabis is both safe, effective, and a viable substitute for many medications used to manage chronic illness that's far safer and free from adverse effects. Unfortunately, the forces of evil, namely the greed of the pharmaceutical companies, coupled with the criminal justice sorehead losers, don't want to admit this to be a medicine and will do everything they can to suppress it.
So fine,
Yeah, give a hand to Joaquin, man. We're grooming him for success. He's on his way. You gotta bring the youth along, you know, if you're gonna call it a family band.
5,000 years ago until about 80 years ago, 60 to 80% of everything on earth was made from marijuana, and it lasted for it's wonderful 200 or 300 years. I went back and researched it and researched it. I wrote a book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes. Have you read it? What do you think about it? And everything, I did $100,000 if you can prove me wrong. And nobody has ever came out. About 500 people said my punctuation was fucking, but the facts are this.
A little bit about a plant I know that can save the world. It grows long and tall and has flowers that can make your mind swirl. It's a funky plant with a fiber that is resistant to rain and mold. It's the strongest plant fiber known to man, the best rope you'll ever hold. Well, the pioneers covered up the wagon trains with a canvas made of hemp. In Washington and Jefferson, they grew it on their farms and said to make the most of it. The first stars and stripes were sewn on hemp, the first Constitution too. It's used around the world for food, fiber, oil, medicine, and fuel. And if we press its seeds, we won't have no need for any of the oil. We can make paints and inks, or run our cars going back next season. It'll fix the soil, the most nutritious seed. We can put in a mouth with omega-6 and 3. We can feed the world with the tree of life and live sustainably. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. We'll grow fields of hemp instead. We can make our paper, build a house from it. It's got us plant, grow wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me. Whoa, whoa. La 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 la. Whoa, whoa. Hemp plant make the best medicines on earth. Helps cancer and AIDS patients eat their food. Helps those with depression overcome the blues. Glaucoma, epilepsy, nausea, insomnia, stress, neurosis, psychosis, pain, PMS. All the studies have been done and all the doctors agree, but they can't make money off this plant, you see, because it's free. It grows from a seed, a wild and free like we ought to be. You know the future is grown in our own backyards. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. We'll grow fields of hemp instead. We can make our paper, build a house from it. So gotta spend, grow wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me. Whoa, whoa. La 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 la. Whoa, whoa. lack spirituality. This one single plant can bring us back 10,000 years in history. To the Shiva piranhas, the Jesus, the Christ, to the Buddha, the pagans, the goddess, the light, to commune with all the animals, be one with all the trees, to realize the goddess seek is inside me. As the earth is a mother, we gotta take care of the earth. The earth is the mother that gives life birth, and we can hear our listen with a single green plant. We can start right now. But if we cut down all the trees, we won't have nowhere to breathe. We'll grow fields with nothing there. We can't make our papers on the house from here. So we gotta stand go wild and free, living the way that we ought to be. Gonna leave my children a better world than my ancestors left me. Whoa, whoa. La 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 la. Whoa, whoa.
Feeling crazier than hell. Got this time on my hands and got you on my mind and got nowhere else to go. The fires burn hot and cold. There's someplace in between the melt and the freeze. This need for reaching for you. You were all I could be. Now I'm here wearing alone. We were one. Now I'm a ghost, falling from my place in the sun. This dizzy is out of control. The world keeps spinning. I heard a vibrating echo. Sounded a lot like you. Amongst the truths I saw, you were the one that I found. Now I'm needing the remembering close of memories of you holding my hand. Remembrances of laughter singing, songing the nights with belonging, sweetnessing the shelter of each other. Reality, the reality of safe feeling. With all these times of missing you, I'm never not going to love you. These days without you to hold my hand, feeling crazier than hell. This crazy goes on and on. And this confusion of me's crazy together or crazy apart. When crazy is crazy, it's not always in our heads. Sometimes it's in our hearts. Feeling crazier than hell. Got this time on my hands. I got you on my mind. I got nowhere else to go.
The Reflectical. I'll take the old road. You made me ride. I'm looking on the west end. Maybe it's breezing. So read your times, love. Lord knows that we could use a little of that meaning. Such a shame, such a shame, no, such a shame. Can't you walk in out my door when I need you now? Oh yeah. Well, I don't mind dying, Lord, on any day that's yet to come. I'd have been just fine, Lord, on any day that's come and gone. But Jesus Christ Almighty, don't you take my soul tonight. Just one more earthly cigarette and make me feel alright. Tomorrow I'll go with you, Lord. I could use a brand new start. Oh, but don't you let me die. Don't you let me die. Oh, don't you let me die with this broken heart. I said, Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and John. Down by the old road, you made me ride. I'm looking on the west end, but maybe it's breezy. So read your times, love. Lord knows that we could use a little of that meaning. 'Cause baby, it's breezy. Whoa, it's such a shame. Such a shame, no, such a shame. Can't you walk it on out my door when I need you now? Where's everyone gone?
Hey guys, this is LK. I'm backstage at Hempstock 2012 with Jim Page. Welcome, bro.
Hey, thanks. Good to be here.
Very nice. I know that you've been involved with trying to help get it legal here, because I know a couple of years ago you did the Octa Tour, and now you're here for Hempstock. I want to thank you. Anything you want to tell people that you might know?
Well, I played the original Hemp Fest up in Seattle too, and I played most of those throughout the years. I've known Vivian for ages. He's one of the most interestingly direct action constructive people that I know. I'm from the '60s generation, and so I kind of came of age in the era when people were challenging all kinds of prohibitions. And I'm a musician, which means I've been around all sorts of substance abuses, including mostly alcohol. And we know what that does. I've seen what that does. I've seen the casualties over and over for years in the music community and in the civilian community associated with music and so on and so on and so on. And, it's a broken record to say over and over again that cannabis, smoking it, eating it, whatever, I mean, the worst I've ever seen is somebody might go to sleep. Or they might start seeing little sparkly things and talk about flying saucers or something. That's it. They're not going to get into fist fights. They don't get loud. They don't steal your stuff. I mean, it's completely different. And once you start to get into the whys and wheres of the prohibition and things were changed and locked away, it just starts to be kind of boringly the same as everything else in this country that gets hidden away and kept out of our grasp. So if we can get actually close to changing it, I think that's fabulous. If we can, I mean, I've learned to expect the worst, but I would love to see the best. I personally think that people are better than we're allowed to think, smarter than we're allowed to think, more generous than we're allowed to think, okay? And I think we can do this. I'm always prepared for that big letdown, but I think I got my fingers crossed on this one. It really looks good. It really looks good.
Yes, I know that Measure 80 was here in Oregon. We have the opportunity to make it legal for recreational use amongst adults. Yeah. We were the first state to decriminalize, and look where it came. So if we can pass this and make it legal in Oregon, no telling where it's going to go to. I think you might have already answered this, but I always ask everybody I interview this one question. If you could say anything to the marijuana community, what would you say?
I would say what would I say? I would say keep going. I would say don't make a fool of yourself. I would say don't be confrontational, but keep going. Keep going. Don't let people shut you up. Okay? Don't let people put you down. Don't let people tell you how stupid you are. Any of those things. Keep going. Because it's a totally sensible thing to do. Let me ask you a question. Okay? When it was decriminalized, so to speak, here in Oregon, did the murder rate go up?
No.
That's it.
actually, violent crime actually came down.
Yeah.
So, anything that you think your fans would like to know where you're going to be in the future, or?
Well, I'm playing all over the place. I always do a West Coast tour up and down the coast, like twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall, and so I'm looking forward to November is the next thing. And one thing I'd like to say, which people talk about a lot, and I've said this before, but it's true. I'm not an advocate of any particular use of anything, but cannabis it's an unlocking agent, among other things. And can I be blunt?
Yes.
Okay, the first time I took acid, okay, way back when, because that acid makes you laugh, okay? It doesn't allow you to, it makes you laugh, okay? You will laugh. And the thing that is the most funny that I remember is pomposity. Pomposity is the funniest thing on the planet. Once you learn to laugh at pomposity, the game is almost up. Because they can tell you what to do and what to think and where to sit down and when to shut up and everything else with their big uniforms and their badges and their pompousness. Once you start to laugh at... So all I'm saying is that some of these things are unlockers. They unlock your creativity, they unlock your sense of humor, and they allow you to see the ludicrousness of certain kinds of superiority, okay? I don't know how to fix guitars, so I bow to the authority, in that sense of the word, of a guitar repairman when mine gets broken. That's the only definition of authority that I give any credence to. The other one, You're not an authority. You've just got a gun. You can put me away for 10 years. That's not authority. That's force. That's all that is. So if we can get things square and straight with our terminology, and we can learn to laugh at the right time, and we can understand that unlocking our brains can be dangerous to some other people. Now we understand why they don't like us. I think we'll be fine. We just keep going. We allow people to slowly but surely understand that we're not endangering them. The murder rate isn't going to go up. The world isn't going to fall apart. The earth isn't going to get hit with asteroids. The dinosaurs aren't going to come back all of a sudden. It's going to go on. You know, we might even get some constructive things done. Okay?
Very nice, guys. Again, this is okay. Backstage at Hempstock 2012 with Jim Page, one of the most wisest men I've ever heard. After just hearing this interview, I want to thank you for everything you've done in the past and what you'll do in the future. And it's just an honor to interview you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I've been in this marijuana legalization movement, like he said, since about 1964, long before most of you were born. My prayer in my entire adult life has been to see marijuana legalized in the United States before I have to leave this planet and go on to the next one, like we all must. That's my dream and my prayer, and I'm not going to harangue you about why marijuana should be legalized. It would be like trying to tell some angels why they should have wings. One thing I know, all of us would rather live in a world where we aren't treated as criminals, where the police had no business with what was going on inside our mother-ing heads. What do the police have with what goes on in our heads? It's our business. So one day, I pray this will be over with. In Michigan, I'm a medical marijuana patient registered with the state. I got my card on me. Yeah. In Detroit, where I'm based, we're going to vote for legalization in the city of Detroit this November, and I think we'll probably win. Years and years ago, we established in Ann Arbor, Michigan in 1972, a local ordinance that made marijuana possession or sales of any sort subject to a $5 ticket. And that's been in effect there for 40 years now. I think they raised it to $25, kind of a nod to inflation. But it's still just a ticket. That's as good as it gets before you have pure legalization, which I hope we'll have here in Oregon. So I've always wanted to go to the Hempstock Festival. I've never had the opportunity before. And then Paul Stanford invited me this year and said, we're trying to pass our measure number 80 to legalize marijuana in Oregon, and really I wanted to be part of that. So I'm glad to be here today. I spend a lot of time in Amsterdam where you just buy your weed over the counter. You don't even have to be sick. You can buy some weed just to get high on. They got really good weed, and the prices are something you can live with. It's a beautiful thing. We got one coffee shop here in Portland. I had the opportunity to visit last night, the world-famous Cannabis Cafe here in Portland. And that's a good start. I think it's the first one maybe in the USA, am I right? Yeah. Well, I live in a coffee shop culture. Every day I go to the coffee shop, get high, drink coffee, see my friends, listen to music, yeah, have a good time. It's a civilized way to live. So I'm praying that y'all are going to pass this legislation in November. I just wanted to have one preachment, and that is the necessity to register to vote. Because if you aren't registered to vote and then you don't actually vote, then these other idiots are going to continue their tyranny. The other side, they vote every fucking time. They very rarely miss a vote. All of them vote. And that's why we get our ass kicked all the time, because we forget to vote, or we don't think it's important, or they hoodwinked us into thinking it wasn't necessary. It's always good to vote. Man, I love democracy. This is a great way to live, a democracy. You got to vote, but you got to use it. In order to use it, you got to register to vote in a timely fashion. So that's the one piece of grandfatherly advice I can convey to you this afternoon. Other than that, I was reminding Paul Stanford yesterday when we were on his television show. I was with the great American poet John Trudell. And I was reminding my brothers that it was poets who started the marijuana legalization movement. Allen Ginsberg, Edward Sanders, they were in the very forefront of this movement way back in 1964 and 1965. I was right behind them coming out of Detroit. And you had people here in Oregon like Ken Kesey, who spearheaded this idea for many years. So you got to remember, poetry comes into this at the basic level.
Give us this day our daily yeses. Yes to life. Yes to living. Yes to caring. Yes to creating. Yes to thinking. Yes to clarity. Yes to balance. Yes to being. Yes to seeing. Yes to yeses. Give us this day our daily yeses. Chaos, confusions, chaos, desperations, despairs, desperations, programmed belief programmed, manipulated minds manipulated, fearful thinking fearful, inside, outside, inside, thought altering thought, diseasing perceptions diseasing, forgetting medicine forgetting, clear thinking clear, coherent, prayers given prayers, peace and love and peace, created realities created, whatever sees whatever we do we. Give us this day our daily yeses. Yes to yeses. Yes to seeing. Yes to being. Yes to balance. Yes to clarity. Yes to thinking. Yes to creating. Yes to giving. Yes to caring. Yes to living. Yes to life. Yes to yeses. Give us this day our daily yeses.
worship song. Give thanks so we can be truly blessed.
When we got nowhere to go, we can light a fire under the sun. We could blast the radio when we got nowhere to go. We could put the car in cruise control. Yeah, whoa. We could blast the radio when we got nowhere to go. Cause girl, I come a long, long way for you. And you can make the plan, tell me what you wanna do. And I'm the favorite one, you're the one I'll be singing to. Cause girl, I come a long, long way for you. When the time comes, I'll be on the run all the time. I gotta move on to the next one. The minute we'll be back, I don't know. In the meantime, I'll be doing fine. Realize it's really all to say goodbye. And even use the hardest part out the road. We can spend the night under the moon. Forget about the real life and enjoy the view. I get lost in time when I lie down next to you. We could rock the whole night away, nothing I would rather do. I realize normally we would take it slow, without a destination, just spin the globe. We can get high, baby girl, if you're feeling low. And I can promise you tonight, you're the only girl I know. When the time comes, I'll be on the run, and all the time I gotta move on to the next one. And when we'll be back, I don't know. In the meantime, I'll be doing fine. We can lie, really ought to say goodbye. Leaving just the hardest part out the road. We can light a fire under the sun. We could blast the stereo when we got nowhere to go. We could put the car in cruise control. Yeah, whoa. We could blast the stereo when we got nowhere to go. When the time comes, I'll be on the run all the time. I gotta move on to the next one. When we'll be back, I don't know. In the meantime, I'll be doing fine. Realize it's really all to say goodbye. Leaving us the hardest part of the road. We could light a fire under the sun. Cause girl, I've come a long, long way for you.
It really blows my mind to understand that this war started 100 years ago. Her started their false propaganda, the lies, renamed the plant hemp, renamed the plant cannabis, and called it marijuana. because he lost a lot of timber to the Mexicans. He wasn't too happy with them. But California started the law in 1913. Several states followed quickly, and before you knew it, the conglomerate of the industrial complex had managed to pass a bill called the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. It was proven unconstitutional by 1969, and Nixon knew he didn't have much time to keep this law going, so he gathered his conservative friends to give him advice and find nasty things to say about this plant, but they found the opposite as usual. They found it is not habit-forming. It does not lead to other drugs. It doesn't do any of the things that they said they do, and so he didn't like that report. He tore it up, threw it in the garbage.
That was the Schaefer Commission report.
The Schaefer Commission report. But here's the tragedy. So actually the only federal law, you law enforcement, listen carefully, because you took an oath to uphold our Constitution too. That lie, which disrespects my 4th and 5th Amendment rights, that lie that's kept me from getting a job since the 80s, so now I live with a miserable income and you got to support me. That same lie has put over 20 million of us under arrest at one time or another. Now, how many of us are there here? How many people smoke marijuana in this country? What is the percentage of what you arrest? Is it 1%? Is it 10%? Is it 4%? Well, whatever you think it is, multiply that by 25 million and you might get a clue, a hint. Why are we forced to follow, this is the federal law they try to put on the states and everyone else, to follow the legacy of a man who left the presidency in disgrace for lack of honesty? This needs to end. That is one of the main reasons I'm asking everybody to vote for 80, to vote to help the people in Colorado, in Michigan, and send a clear message to the administration. This will not be tolerated any longer. We have not. That's why there are millions of us breaking your law every day. Has no respect for us. It doesn't deserve respect. Now change it. Please change it. Vote on 80. If you live in other states, help those ones in Colorado and Michigan, and definitely contact your legislators and your president and remind them that this man changed these laws all by himself with no help from the Congress or the Senate. It was just an order that he gave that we're living under this lie, and this lie has to end. 5 generations of lies and misinformation has rendered us a nation very, very incapable of making rational decisions, mostly because our system is not satisfied. The endocannabinoid system that opens our mind and expands our thinking and allows us to be real human beings.
Put us to the test. So it's time to exercise our rights and put on a hemp fest. And we'll educate the youth who soon will rule the land. It's just a matter of time, and it's time to take a stand. Cause it's a losing battle, one that money can win. Been going on for years, just keeps right on going. Like a Cold War with the commies, prohibition and the like. You can throw us all in prison, but you cannot win the fight. Cause it's a losing battle.
Vivian McPeak at Seattle Hemp Fest here at Myrtle Edwards Park. I'm with THC TV and Seattle Hemp Fest, and we just had Woody Harrelson speak, enjoying some munchies now and some refreshments. We've got the Herbivores, our house band playing. We've got so many people out there, I don't know how to count them.
Hey, Mr. Politician, time to wake up.
Thank you, Casper. You know, we'll be back with another live show next week. We're going to go out with some more great music with Jansu Hurst and John Cornett. I want to thank you folks for watching. Check out our website at hemp.org, and we have lots of news at hemp.org/news. Tune in next week and help us restore hemp.
Well, he's a hit at the Hemp Fest rallies and a hit at the Hemp Stop too. Strutting with fudge and brownies, and he wants to share with you. He's the candy man, the sugar shaking, fudge baking, brownie baking son of a gun. He's the candy man, sugar shaking, fudge baking, brownie baking son of a gun.